Okay. So we're on the way to the Varl capital. -6 supplies. Morale declined. Well, shit. Clansmen 0, Fighters 85, Varl 366. That's a lot of Varl. The caravan stops for the day. A gift, says Mogger, cracking open mead casks. From our gracious friend, the governor of Strand. Hours pass with raucous laughter as maid is passed throughout the camp. Drink a little, drink a lot, toast to Wagner. Drink a little. You go easy. You've nothing against a good drink, but if anyone's going to keep an eye on things, it may as well be you. The revelers eventually fall asleep without incident. Morale improved. You rise groggily, the campsite a casualty of merriment. Mogger is already kicking warriors awake when you spot Ludin stalking your direction. He sidesteps sleeping bodies. Better wake up. Better wake up. You nudge Wagner. You're needed. Ah, it's Ludin. Always a pleasure. You look well rested. Wagner releases a caged yawn and receives a hard-eyed stare in return. How long to Grafheim? Ha! We're only 2 days out of Strand, you know. Come, I'll show you on a map. This is the map of the world! He's the map, he's the map, he's the map, he's the map, he's the map! You can explore it by dragging the mouse to pan and using a mouse wheel to zoom. Okay. That's a long way to Grafheim. Oh my gosh, we got a map. Oh, it's a big map too. Holy shiznit. I then spend the next 2 hours reading through the map. Here are the highlights. Merde, this map looks good. I know, right? It looks fucking fantastic. The world map is covered with many locations and holds much lore. You can explore the map at any time, clicking on locations for more information. Oh no. Oh no, I'm gonna be here so long. Look, I can click on anything for more information. Joseph. Dragon Rider. Oh no. Oh no. Click on everything. I know. Transportation. Where longship and horse once ruled travel, eventually the waterways became mapped out. The horses were eradicated by horseborn. Cities became landlocked, and a man and Varl became more accustomed to walking great distances with great pack animals called yaks, and never leaving their homes, or never leaving their homes at all. Eventually, the waterways became mapped out. The horses were eradicated by horseborn. Cities became landlocked. The man and Varl became more accustomed to... Okay, so yaks are a thing. Horse... Why would horseborn eliminate the horses? What is the horseborn and why has it gotten rid of the horses? What would the horses do? Who punished the horses? Strait of Horrors. Maybe it's a car? That would make sense. I need to fix my horseborn. Strait of Horrors. The Strait of Horrors is one of the most aptly named passages, watery grave to hundreds of longships that endeavored to explore the frozen north or find northerly passage to the east coast. The ever-shifting ice flows and glaciers make the strait nearly unmappable, and soon, without much reason to pass through in the first place, it became unused by men or Varl. basically this thing leads here to the other side. So basically, there's a north passage. I love it when there's a northwest passage. Can I go around the southern tip? Nope. That is the only way to sail between here and here. The Strait of Horrors. And it's as north as it can be. Dunda's beard! Alright. This map is cool as fuck. We're gonna explore everything in this map. The Vetur Sea. The winter sea in the north strikes a precarious balance between frozen and traversable, but fast-moving flows usually keep it from icing over completely. This, however, makes a little difference when there is nothing across the sea to travel to, and no ports of note alone in the east coast to travel between. So you're telling me this entire east coast of a continent, and there's no ports to travel between. It's all just land stuff that leads to the west side. The spear. A thin needle of icy rock jutting out off the coast of the Vetur Sea. The unnatural shape of the spear implies that some landmass here split off and sank at some point in the distant past. Well, that explains where all the ports went. Basically, the East Coast got fucked over. This map goes deep. I'm gonna summarize real quick. But first, this is the point where if you watch any further, learn any more about this game without playing it yourself, you're missing out. It's a lot like Mass Effect or other story-based games where your decisions matter this much, where it's best to do everything blind and to learn and really see where your choices lead. And it just fully sells the idea that every choice you make matters. Now, the first game is really brutal with your decision making, and like you lose a couple combats and it steamrolls you later. There's a relatively unexplained portion of the map down the right side where everything's just super murky and swampish, which I suppose kind of makes sense based on, like, maybe it was churned up by whatever fell off the right side, and plus there is a really fucking intense bog in the bottom right. But play the game yourself. Don't be spoiled by it. You can come back and watch my reactions and my playthrough and everything. But I really love this game. 100%. The combat is simple but engaging. It makes you think without actually being too much. And like my game that I'm currently making, which is a grid-based RPG combat story, which, well, that's not the only part of it, but we double down into the mechanics in making the combat as engaging as possible, and we're really trying to sell that part of it. This game is super, super story-driven, and it is beautiful. It will make you care about those characters and everything that happens. When you get betrayed, you will feel betrayed. When things work out and you make a decision out of the kindness of your heart and good things come of it, you will feel great. And it does that fantastic. It is high fantasy. It makes you feel powerful and helpless at the same time. Please, please go play. And with that out of the way, the map is also wonderful to explore. There was one thing that I was confused about. Do the rivers flow inland? Because I don't know how I managed to gather that idea, but it felt like the rivers would flow from the sea in towards the center. Now, I don't know how I came to that conclusion here, but I was operating on that assumption for like the rest of the game. It didn't affect anything, but it was a cool thought, and I'm not sure if it was true. So, forgive how distracted this has been, but welcome, and I hope you enjoy coming on the rest of this journey with me. How do I save? Alright, I'll close the map for now and find a spot to save. Oh, God. We head north, then east past the forts. Grofheim's far from Strand. Going to be a long march. You should have drank last night, Ludwin. And why not take the ships to Skrymir instead? What's the point of marching? The Silverstone Bay is called that for a reason. It stays covered in ice all year. It would tear up the longships. Too bad, though. We could have shown you all the wonders of Skrymir. A half-sunken city crawling with dredge and glaciers. You like glaciers? Ludin exhales through the nose, a poor disguise for his contempt. He turns and bats aside the tent flaps as he goes, barking at his company in the distance. Don't poke the anthills, Ognir. He seems no happier to be here than you. Spend a few more days with the boy, old friend. You'll be looking for a tall cliff to hop off to. Lundwin's got a shorter wick than Hakon. Thanks, Vognir. Let's get moving. Another half day to Vetterfell if we're lucky. Give me a save. I want to save. Camp. Camp is where you manage your caravan. During travel, you can enter camp at any time by tapping the camp button on the travel HUD. While at camp or in towns, you can upgrade your allies or equip items in the hero's tent. You can pass time by using the rest tent. Resting will improve the caravan's morale. A high morale will reduce casualties in war and affect your willpower in combat. Each passing day will use supplies, so only rest when necessary. The training tent will allow you to safely try out any characters in a mock battle. Tap leave at the bottom of the camp when you're ready to get back on the road. Oh, Jesus. Alright, so Maugre's still good. Dude didn't die. Click on the ability button to learn about the unit's abilities. Bring the pain. The character strikes an adjacent enemy for armor break damage before hunkering down and boosting his passive ability. Return the favor to return even more break damage for one turn. By using Bring the Pain, he can create a forward charge that punishes enemies for ganging up against him. Warmaster, Spearmaster, Warhawk, Promote my boy. Okay. This unit has points available to spend on improving stats. Activate one of the plus buttons above. Oh. Now, I have already sung this game's praises, so I'm going to take this moment to point out a few things which could have been done better. It's not always clear when you're making an important decision as a new player whether this is a split-second decision or a long-term decision, like you have time to sit and think about it. So oftentimes you will go to ask about, like, oh, I should always ask for advice. I should always take the time to do so. Yes and no, if you have the time. And it's not clear when you have the time to take your time with the decision and sort of ask somebody about it. Like, yeah, it's obvious when somebody's hanging off the cliff, you need to act then. But it's not always obvious, like, whether or not you're 200 yards from town and currently in the middle of walking up and it's going to take 10 minutes to get there, or like 5 minutes to get there, and you have time to turn to the side while you're walking and go, yo, what do you think we should do about this? Versus whether you're 10 feet from town and you see problems just rampant and you should go. I think this game needs a timer system in the decision-making menus, and only on those critical ones where it is you have so long. A, it would up the pressure, and be more realistic and gritty. And so it still sells that well. and applies more of that sort of tension to the situation when you only have so much time on a bar that's going down to answer it. Otherwise, something happens. Like you just didn't act fast enough. Let's say you froze deer in a headlight style. Versus those longer decisions where you don't have the timer. It's very clear then that, oh, the timer's going down. You probably shouldn't stop and ask someone for advice. That critical change used in the right places would have solved so many issues. And it technically makes the game harder, more intense. It sells the fantasy better, while also fixing that communication issue with the player. That's my input as a game designer. Let's get back into it. I'm currently trying to fiddle with this menu. Side note, this footage is from when I was a little bit worse at Twitch streaming. So the chat is over. You can't really tell. I upgraded Ganulf's strength twice. Map, renown, days of supplies. I have 66 days of supplies. Morale is great. I mean, I don't lose a whole lot if it makes me go back. One other small thing I forgot about, because this was a problem in both the first and second game through my entire playthrough. It wasn't obvious when the autosave was, so I never knew whether my progress was saved or not. And just having a button somewhere that said save would have solved that. I think the decision was made to keep it like this to prevent you from pre-saving before you made a decision and then loading after. It, like, oh, I didn't like how that turned back and going back. Which is a good call. But it needs to be obvious when it autosaves. You know what I mean? Like, it needs to tell you that it just saved and now is a time when you can, you know, stop playing the game and come back. Every time I ended up just crossing my fingers and hoping and then leaving, and it worked out when I came back. Every time. Or like, for example, Getting Over It. That game tells you explicitly at the beginning that it will save all of your progress, even your mistakes. And just knowing that would have been very helpful to me as a player. Wow. Oh, fuck. That is a hell of a time sink. Oh my god. It's a grid-based combat game, so it's Fire Emblem with giants. I like it, don't get me wrong. But hot damn. Good night, y'all. Alright, let's jump right in. I think they had just given... Yeah, I was still on the map. I spent hours looking at that map. And this is the part where I'm supposed to try to figure out how to do everything. Units move in the order you place them from left to right. This initiative order is very important when setting up strategies. For example, put archers after melee units so that they can stay safe behind your heavy hitters. Drag the unit icons to rearrange their turn order. I'm gonna keep you first. I'm gonna have Luden go last. Giants up top. Getting closer to 50 wins and Getting Over It. You're at 21 right now. Look, I don't want to touch Getting Over It yet, but I realized something because I watched a Lud video. Good old Ludwig. This motherfucker put out that nobody can beat what he calls the God Gamer Challenge. And naturally, if I'm going to be trying to stream on this platform, and someone as big as Lud says no one else, other than him, can beat the God Gamer Challenge, which is to beat Getting Over It, Pogo Stuck, and Jump King all within 1 hour, naturally, that's gonna fuck me up until I fix it and actually beat that shit. But not gonna be happy about it along the way. The Banner Saga music is so good that I'm gonna go ahead and keep that up. I don't know how to use Hack-On yet because, you know, reasons. So I'm gonna put the guys I know what they do first. What do you do? I wish one complaint. There isn't words for any of this. It's just symbols. I'm supposed to understand what they mean. Yeah, a new personal record of 9 minutes 30 seconds. Yep. Jump King and Pogo Stuck are the other two. And, yeah. Now I'm obligated. Hit the question mark button? Ooh! Oh, that's helpful. Thanks, TT Grasshopper. Abilities are the unique powers that this class wields. Click on the icon for more information. Armor blocks damage. Your strength minus their armor equals damage. I am going to play Jump King at some point, I promise. Strength is both damage and health. If your strength drops to 0, the unit falls unconscious. Oh, so the more damaged they are, the less damage they do. Oh, wow. That's a steamroll mechanic. Willpower. Willpower spent to move. Yep. Exertion is the amount of willpower you can use on any given action. Oh, I understand. So that's like your Valor limit or Psi limit in D&D, depending on, you know, which class you're playing. I guess both of those are homebrew. Well, not homebrew, but one's Unearthed Arcana and the other is third party. So, break is the amount of direct damage you can naturally do to an enemy's armor. Oh, nice. So you are still damaging their armor, right? Or do you have to choose to attack the armor? Alright. Points available. How many stat points you have available? Okay. Kills needed to promote to next rank. Oh, each character needs kills to promote. Well, that adds another layer of strategy. Hack-On is a War Master. Hack-On is something of a legend in Varl culture. When he met Wagner, it was during the Second Great War, in which the two became known for cutting a swath through Dredge where others were struggling just to stay alive. Wagner was always the charismatic leader, but there was no question about which of the two would win in a fight. Sounds badass. He is, however, a level 1. For balance reasons. Okay. Sundering Impact. The character hits even harder than the average warrior, with no chance to miss. He can wreak havoc with an additional +1 strength and also adds 1 break to the target, plus bonus to heavy impact. Sundering Impact is best used when carefully positioned to impact as many enemies around the target as possible in a single strike. Huh. So this is another AoE dude. This guy was a War Hawk. Oh yeah, you're going first. I want to level you up. You're badass. Mogur's still going to be over here. And Ludin's last because he sucks. Puny human. Yeah, let's try this out. Training tent. Put you in the back. Mauger on the far left. Put these guys up close and personal. Actually, let's close the gap a little bit. Nah, this is fine. You here would be good. Yeah. Okay, let's try this. This guy has that much willpower? How much do I want to spend? Well, let's try. Let's see what spending it early does. You're gonna have trouble reaching, so it doesn't really matter. So I needed actually to move you one more over. What does this do again? Bring the pain, breaks the enemy's armor, and punishes enemies for retaliating. Move forward, you coward. If I just use 2 more willpower, he's dead. That's worth it. What the hell? Well, you came right up to me. What does Impale do? Causes knockback and target bleeds when moving. Oh. Oh, that didn't do much damage at all. Hey! My boy! I may not think he's that useful, but he sure as hell isn't worth. You know what? Wait, I'm absolutely gonna move here. Do a Sundering Impact on this guy because fuck it. Fuck, this human's difficult. Ah, I needed to move. Alright. move here. Sundering Impact. Yeah, I'm like right at the beginning. Well, that's how the training do. Let's look at my heroes again. And now I can promote them. Nice. I am absolutely increasing your break. And let's also increase your strength for now. Okay. I want everybody level 2, so I think I'm gonna stay here, do some training first. And once everyone's level 2, then I will move forward. In that case, I'm putting Mogre and Ludin up front. I'm trying to promote these two to level 2, damn it. Prince is really good. I mean really good. Did I promote Mogre as well? Yeah, I did. That's what I wanted. Increase the break, increase the break. That's important. Ludwin, same deal. Promote? Yes. Increase the break. Let's give him more strength. I think Mogre, I'm probably going to start bumping his armor from now on. Alright, so I did all the training I wanted because I leveled up all the peoples. Let me make sure these guys aren't about to promote as well. Oh. Oh, I could promote him again. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, fuck. Increases break. Increases strength. There we go. Okay. And leave. And thus our hero is prepared for his journey. I know not what I must do as the will of these characters yet, but I do know it will be a long road. Hi, I'm the Chess Dev, or RolandTitan over on Twitch, and I'm a game designer. I play video games and mostly give insight on their systems, react to them, enjoy them. Sometimes I play ridiculously hard games just because I hate myself. And please like, comment, subscribe. I'm trying to grow a YouTube channel. I'm trying to get somewhere. I founded Battalion Games LLC to try to make the Game Titans Battalion happen. Every form of it. And when all is said and done, I want to look back and call this a success. And I want you to be part of that. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.